Cynthia couldn't be with us. She got called out for work. We're all young ones. But thank you for having us here. It's been really incredible to listen in on all these presentations. I'm Tina Hanai.
And I'm Sam Liu. And we're the co-founders of, along with Cynthia, of Yellow Noise.
So Yellow Noise is basically a media project. Mainly, we've been calling it a magazine, but it's all online as of now with future hopes to be in print.
Yeah, so it's more of like a multimedia sort of platform for different young Asian identified creators to submit their works.
So the initial thought behind it, and I think we get this a lot, and we even heard it throughout some of the presentations here, is growing up, none of us had something like this, and I think, as was mentioned earlier during your presentation, the rejection of, as if you're Asian North American, I'm Asian American, as mentioned earlier, and
I was born in China, but I was raised in Vancouver when I came to Vancouver when I was 3, so 1.5 gen, so still have some weird issues with that.
Yeah, so I think a lot of us ended up rejecting a lot of our roots as a way of surviving, coping, and also there's a large way in which you just you can't be cool if you're Asian and you're growing up and you accept that, and I hope that that's changing. I think it is. A lot of things in general are changing in terms of media representation of people that are not necessarily white, straight, cis, and conventionally beautiful, and a lot of things that are challenging it are people who are out there and reclaiming identities in a way that is accessible. So while our mandate and a lot of our work, we're both privileged enough to have extensive education, but while a lot of it's coming from a lot of the work that's been done by so many scholars in academia on critical race theory and so many incredible Asian Canadian and Asian American writers who have really dealt with and disentangled the ways in which this is so intermingled with so much history and colonialism. But basically, we're trying to take that and make it really accessible by giving it a pop culture aesthetic, and taking this aesthetic and putting out media in the form of fashion, in the form of essays, in the form of other photos and art, and putting it out there as a magazine, but there's a lot of kind of ulterior work going on in terms of reclaiming our ability to put our own media out there so that we don't have the few Asian American, Asian Canadians out there being portrayed by people who don't necessarily have an intimate connection with that culture.
Yeah, we want to reclaim our own self-identification. So we want to create a space for an incubator for Asian American, Asian Canadian culture, to represent ourselves.
And what's been really fun about this, because I think fun is important and doesn't get talked enough about in academia, is that it involves a lot of food, which I'm sure all of you, as we see here, it's a really wonderful gathering place, and I feel like more than anything else, despite the fact that we have a pretty cool product out there, is that we also have a lot of I've met a lot of people through this, made a lot of friends, and a lot of cool stories where we're able to kind of complain with each other about things that we've seen or show each other cool music videos that are out there, and also have a lot of food together. So we gather often. I don't think you necessarily see that process, but I think that's the kind of process that's happening here, and I think that kind of gathering space is a space for a lot of learning and for a lot of the work that's going on behind the scenes of Yellow Noise. So maybe if you want to talk a little bit about the origin behind the name. Somebody mentioned that's a cool name.
Yes,
So, yeah.
And should this be moving?
Yeah,
or?
That would be nice. There's more stuff. So that's the website right now. I don't know why it's blank. That shouldn't be blank. But yeah, there's more. So
What is that?
about just basically the new. That's the new.
There's some images that can
Yeah, why don't we just go to the website?
Yeah, I just the website for now.
So the website is yellownoise.ca.
Yeah.
And I can just pull up something.
Yeah. So while she's doing that, Yellow Noise, the entire name, Yellow, we chose Yellow because Yellow contains a lot of political history, especially for Asian Americans and Asian Canadians, due to the entire history of white supremacy, villainizing Asian people with the terms like yellow peril, etc. Yellow as a term historically used to encompass all of Asia, but now it's more of a term, like it's pretty like an outdated term really, right? But it just carries a lot of political weight. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and reclaiming that in a way that would be, I think, empowering, but also keeping in mind and extending the ways in which, as I mentioned before, so many of the interpretations and representations of Asians in North American media is mostly East Asian, primarily like
keeping in
Chinese,
mind that privilege.
Japanese, Korean, and so much of South Asian, West Asian, and other people who might not necessarily identify as yellow, might identify as brown, or something beyond that, are also included in this. It's extended beyond that, but that's their origins.
Yeah, and then noise is a way to counter against the apathetic, the portrayal of Asian people as model minorities, aka like apathetic and apolitical about a lot of issues. So yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so here are pictures of the website. That's Kai Cheng.
Kai Cheng's an incredible poet in Montreal. Highly encourage you to look her up. She is doing actually a book launch this month. Just a beautiful poet and has written here, and also incredible trans woman activist.
Exactly.
And I think an extension of Yellow Noise, just to wrap this up, is also the ways in which our community extends really beyond just this understanding of kind of Asian North American, and to kind of challenge the model minority as a construct. And by doing that, I think we have to talk to the ways in which racism is used as an oppressive force. In a lot of Asian communities in North America, there's ways in which anti-Blackness allows us to continue to have the privileges that we have. And so trying to challenge that, trying to challenge a lot of the other oppressive structures that we're just inherently a part of. Including trans people of color and understanding the ways in which violence is continually perpetuated towards them. I mean, you can go on and on and on, we'll wrap this up. But basically, if we can help any one of you in the audience who would like to put your media out there and you're Asian identified, there's been so many incredible stories and very personal things that have been shared in this room. Either if we can help you connect you to other people in our community, or interview you, or put you up there, or help with a podcast, or help with doing an interview for an upcoming movie screening, or put you on their Facebook page. This is a platform, and it's also by extension a community. So please get in touch. We'd love that. We'd also love if you liked our Facebook page and took a look at any of the media we have up there.
Okay, great.
Thank you.